Hey, it's Webs here, and with all the new mercenaries, why not do some guides on how to unlock some of their equipments? This one is going to be centered around Tyrael, who we have to actually complete the heroic mode of the secret cow level to actually get his third equipment. Even if it isn't really going to be used much, you still do get an extra skin by doing this, so it is actually worth it in the end. I did this bounty in two ways, the first one being fire using Chiji, Geddon, and Ragnaros with a bench of Millhouse, Cookie, and Tyrael. Though you don't really need Millhouse or Cookie within this build to actually do it this way, I just figured this would be the easiest comp for a lot of people to actually just have, since it is just a generally good clearing comp, though the other one is a little bit more new player friendly. The first mercenary on the team is Chiji, who we're using Blazing Ban as his equipment just to increase his scaling for his damage and healing a little bit faster. Geddon, we're using Mark of Conflagration as his equipment to increase the damage he actually does each turn. And Ragnaros, we're using Blazing Rune to just increase the damage of all of our other mercenaries. Then for the rest, it doesn't actually matter what equipments and such you actually use, as you're not really going to be bringing them in. And to get to the boss and at the boss, you're mainly going to be using Chiji, Geddon, and Ragnaros, which we're using a Blazing Song on Chiji, followed by a Firestorm, and if you need any bit of healing, you can use the Inspiration Song. All three of these will trigger the fire combo on Geddon. For Geddon, we're literally just spamming Inferno. And for Ragnaros, for the most part, we're only using Die Insects. Though there are some times where you want to use Meteor or Magma Blast, depending on if Chiji actually dies before Geddon. For the second way that I actually completed this bounty, I used dragons, using Brightwing, Sinestra, and Yu'lon as the front line, and then having Samuro and King Crush on the back line. These two can be anything that can do a bunch of damage, and you probably would prefer something like Millhouse or something else that is a caster over two fighters, because the boss is actually a protector. Though I didn't actually do that, it's just worth mentioning. For equipments, we're using Pixie Pouch on Brightwing, we're using Sinestra's Mana Brooch, and we're using Yu'lon's Pearl of Yu'lon to reduce the damage taken by our other dragons. And for the most part, you're going to be using Brightwing, Sinestra, and Yu'lon to actually get to the boss. This is going to be a little bit of a slower build to get up to the boss, and you're going to have to play a little bit better. If one of your other mercenaries gets really low, use the mana barrier on them instead of Sinestra, as Sinestra should be able to just stay alive by using Twilight Extinction on her. Though if she is the one that's getting focused down and is getting real low, use mana barrier there. And if you need even more healing, you always have Pixie Dust to increase the healing, or even the Jade Flame Buffet. So with that all being said, let's look at how I did this with fire first, and then we'll look at how I did this with dragons. Now time for fire. Just going to put down our first three mercenaries, hard target one of the ads down, or hard focus down the explosive. We should be able to kill the explosive. We really didn't need to do that here, but it was probably going to die anyways due to the amount of damage we actually have. And then this turn, we just use the same abilities again and win here. It's only going to be a turn quicker than it normally would have been without the explosive. Alright, so we're going to put down the Sinestra, Yu'lon, and Brightwing combo to start out with. And we're going to probably hard target the 10 140s instead of the actual boss itself, just because we can get a good 40 damage on each individual one, and we want to try to minimize the amount of damage that the main boss is actually going to be able to do per turn to us. They're going to focus down Yu'lon here, which is perfectly fine. There is the explosive that we're not actually going to try to focus down at all. It just would actually speed our game up a little bit. I did this a few times without this, but I didn't remember to record, so this is the footage that we actually got. Just going to focus on healing Yu'lon. We should be able to kill the first one of the side ads on this fight, on this turn, depending if they attack or not. They do attack, so we'll be perfectly fine. to actually do such. Okay, so there's one dead. We can heal up Yu'lon even more here if we really feel like it. We can use the Jade Gust to instantly kill the 660. And then we're just going to use Twilight Extinction to stack some damage up for the following turn against all of their. Going to heal her up a little bit more again. Use the Buffet again. And then use the Explosive Ordnance 20 damage on itself. Okay, so they summon 3 more Mercenaries. Then we do manage to kill one of them. And all we have left is the boss to actually kill, which shouldn't really be hard to do in this position. We could focus down the explosive. It just really depends if I want to cheese it a little bit here. We probably should have, but it is what it is. We're going to increase our damage a little bit more, do a bit of damage there. They're going to do some damage to us. And then it's just going to go back and forth until the boss is actually dead. Then here we'll just put down whatever. It doesn't really matter. Crush does have a lot of HP and attack, so it's the easiest one to put down right now. Still just going to be focusing down the boss, even though we probably shouldn't. And then we'll just win here. Alright, I hope this video was helpful for you, and if it was, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Until the next one, bye bye.